Hi, my name is Linda Cirulli-Burton, and welcome to this channel named Above the Battleground, ACIM. Now today what I thought I wanted to address was the issue of making decisions. Like, I've made decisions that were just pretty crappy, for lack of a better word. What about being able to make a different decision? A Course in Miracles might call it instead choosing once again. So, Above the Battleground is based on the teachings of a spiritual self-study path known as A Course in Miracles. I've been a student of A Course in Miracles since 1992, and over this past year have been consumed with the idea of sharing insights and lessons from A Course in Miracles in order that they would go deeper inside me and maybe be of some benefit to you. So, one of the most shocking elements of A Course in Miracles that I really had to get was that Jesus on the spiritual path is not talking to Linda as a physical, psychological identity born to particular parents in a particular city, in a particular state, in a particular country. That is not who Jesus is talking to. Instead, I had to come to the realization that it is the decision maker in my mind that Jesus is addressing. So I've often spoken, in fact, the bench on the top of the battleground is where the decision maker can rest. You know, pull oneself out of the ego mind to get to the bench so that Jesus and the Holy Spirit can help me make another choice. A choice for the right mind, a choice for the Holy Spirit. So this is not necessarily where I want to deal with the issue of reincarnation, which, by the way, A Course in Miracles does not take a stand on. If it's helpful to you to believe in reincarnation, then it can be an enormously supportive tool. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you, and it's not necessary. But I do want to share with you an episode that occurred a couple of decades ago that really struck me. I was in a big Course in Miracles circle at an area church. I mean, it was really a big one. And when the class was over, a man on the other side of the circle came walking over to me, and he said, "Linda, I had a vision of you." And the vision was that you went through the Holocaust. You had a very big family, and you went through the Holocaust. And after your camp was liberated, you learned that everyone else in your family had died. And you couldn't take it. And you ended up killing yourself. Now, I'm going to say that I would imagine that for most people, hearing that story would have been devastating. But no, not for me. Because I had often tried to understand the paralysis I had with, ultimately, I was the firstborn of 7 children, mother, father, obviously. And I was obsessed with the sense of loss, or when loss would occur. I even called it potential loss, as though, it was never going to happen, just potentially. But I was really, even when I was a little girl, my father was in the Navy, and he was stationed at the Peace Bridge in Buffalo, New York. And so we only saw him on weekends. And at that particular time, A lot of snow between where I lived in Buffalo for many, many months over the course of the wintertime. And I was absolutely paralyzed with fear about my dad. Would something happen to him? Would he be okay? Would he be able to drive safely? Would a truck hit him? Blah, 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 blah. But I mean, to the point of really pathetic. A little girl who was absolutely pathetic. So when I grew to be a pathetic adult person, and this man said this to me, it was like, okay, I get it. I get it. I get it. It made so much understandable to me about my thinking, okay, about the thoughts that would range in my mind. So anyway, with that in mind, when my family came up on a particular year, it started in 2016, I hadn't realized how much loss we had not experienced. I mean, we had lost grandparents, yes, but so much loss had not occurred. And starting in 2016, there was a lot. So the first was my beautiful brother-in-law, who was just like a brother in our family, as much a brother as the blood brothers, you know. So he passed away. And then a couple months later, my mom passed away. And then later, my husband passed away. And then my father passed away. And then my brother Mike passed away. And shortly on the heels of losing Michael, within a couple weeks, our surrogate mother passed away. And this was sort of in a compressed period of time. And I can honestly tell you that what that man had said to me about my response to loss really governed my responses to these losses. And I realized how blessed I was that they had been in my life, how filled up with love I was over the blessings they had brought into my life. And I feel like I was able to transcend those feelings of total despair that I had operated in my wrong mind, maybe in a previous life, and now I could choose again. I could choose a different response. And I wanted to share a reading from A Course in Miracles that brings this home, and it's actually Choose Once Again is the section. Trials are but lessons that you failed to learn, presented once again. So where you made a faulty choice before, you now can make a better one, and thus escape all pain that what you chose before has brought to you. In every difficulty, all distress, and each perplexity, Christ calls to you and gently says, "My brother, choose again." He would not leave one source of pain unhealed, nor any image left to veil the truth. Now, I am sharing with you an episode that would call for reincarnation, right? Obviously, in this particular lifetime, I am not a participant in a Holocaust, as far as I know so far. Anyway, but there could be choices that I made in my mind, choosing either the ego, choosing spirit in my own lifetime, and I can make a decision to choose again. Was I incredibly unkind to someone who really needed kind attention? And I decided that, no, I don't want to, I don't choose to, and choose in a really rough way of making my perspective known. Could I now choose again to be kind, If I needed to be firm, but firm within kindness, can I choose again? And yes, yes, I can. The decision maker in my mind can choose against the ego, against the wrong mind, and instead choose the Holy Spirit, choose love, choose kindness. I can do it. This time around, I can do it. So thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it.